Excuse me. Woo! A little bit too many hot dogs. Welcome back, everybody, to the Awkward Brothers. Today, we're going to be talking about our future careers. What we want to be when we grow up. In case you can't tell, I want to be an actor. That is my pipe dream, is to be an actor. I've already started, I'm in plays and stuff, and I do media production. And so that's really my ultimate goal, is to be an actor. What about you?
I want to be a doctor, if you can't tell by all this.
I don't think that you could be a doctor.
Why not?
Well, one, I don't think you know enough about diseases. Two, I don't think that it would be that interesting to you, and I just don't think that you could do it.
Test me then.
Test you?
Ask me 10 strange diseases. Some of
Okay.
them made up.
All right. 10
Test me.
strange diseases.
Just for me.
Some of them are made up, some of them are true. That's what we're going to do.
Fine.
Forget career day. This is what we're going to do.
Got it. Be that way.
So, we're going to start off with our first set of diseases and stuff, okay?
But you have some on your computer?
Uh-huh. I have a list ready. I made a list.
This guy's devoted.
Devoted? What is devoted? Okay.
Devoted.
First disease, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's called pica. It's a disorder. And it is characterized by an appetite for substances that are not nutritious. Basically, you just have this strange urge to eat stuff. Like this cup, if you had pica, you would want to eat this cup. You wouldn't want to drink the water or anything inside it. You'd want to eat the cup. True or false?
Okay, these are weird.
Real or not? You said 10 weird diseases, right? I got you 10 weird diseases.
Good point.
So, real or not real?
I want to say real.
That one is real.
Good. Tell
It
me.
is characterized by an appetite for substances that are largely non-nutritive, such as hair, paper, drywall and paint, metal, stones, glass, and in some cases,
Humans.
poop.
Oh, even better!
Yeah. So that one's a little gross.
Okay, this is getting weird already.
Yep. Okay. So that one is true. All right. Next disease. It's called the name for it is goblin aching. It's cobalastriecto. Cobalastriecto. Yeah. It's whenever a patient complains of feeling as if they have walked through too many underground caves. This one's pretty weird.
This is more of a psychological thing, so I'm gonna say not true.
You're gonna say not true? That one, I did make that one up. I couldn't keep a straight face for that one.
Seriously. Goblin
aching. When a patient complains of feeling as if they have walked through too many underground caves. I tried, alright? I tried to make it creative. I tried.
Underground caves.
Yes.
Goblin aching. You could have at least call it goblin syndrome.
Alright, next one. So that's two down. Next one is hypertrichosis or werewolf syndrome.
Excuse me.
It is an abnormal amount of hair on the body. It's just basically people are really, really hairy, so they call them
I believe
werewolves.
this.
You believe it?
I believe it.
You think it's true?
I think it's true.
You're right. It is true.
Oh.
That one
Mixed
is
messages.
true. Yes, mixed message. Well, that's the whole point. All right, so it's also called Ambras syndrome. It is characterized by an abnormal amount of hair growth over the body because of the appearance that it gives them to the mythical werewolf. Makes them kind of look like a werewolf.
Creepy.
And it can happen in one of two ways. One is generalized hypertrichosis, which happens over the entire body, and then the other is localized hypertrichosis, which is just like a certain area, like the backs of your hands, really, really hairy.
Oh.
Or, your face just grows hair, but the rest of your body's normal. So it can present in one of two ways. But that one is true.
You would need to shave a lot.
Yeah, you would. All right. Next one is wooden dehydration, or ligna cicatabis. It's when a patient gets so dehydrated that their extremities, like their arms and their legs, become so stiff that they can't move them except at the hip and the shoulder joints.
This seems...
True or false? Man, this one...
False.
You gonna say that one's false? You say that one's not real?
Yeah.
You are right. It is not real.
Yeah, thank goodness. This seems weird.
I made that one up as well.
Oh, excuse me. Flatulence is something I have. It's a serious disorder.
It's a serious disorder. You should smell it. You don't want to. Never mind. You should not smell it. We're gonna edit that out. All right. So the next one is called the Jumping Frenchman of Maine. Now, the Jumping Frenchman of Maine, it is a rare disorder, but nobody knows where it came from. And the syndrome entails exaggerated startle reflexes.
Oh.
So, like, if you tap them on the shoulder, they're like, oh! And they're like just completely out of whack.
This was false. This got you written all over it.
This one is actually true.
What?
It was first... Individuals with this condition were first found in the northern regions of Maine and were first described by George Miller Beard in 1878. Yeah, it is actually completely true.
The name and everything? Is there
Yes.
a more scientific name than the Frenchman jumping?
The Jumping Frenchman of Maine syndrome? No, there is not. They actually don't have a name for it because...
Oh my goodness.
Because they don't know what causes it. They don't know anything about it, but it is a real thing. It's really weird, but that
seems
one
like
is...
This seems like a psychological thing.
Well, it is a psychological thing.
I mean,
but
it's not a
it is-
disease.
But it is... Well, it's a syndrome.
A disorder.
It's a disorder, disease. That's what we're covering here. Disorders and diseases. Doesn't matter. It's okay. All right. Next up is Alice in Wonderland syndrome, or micropsia, and it is a condition affecting visual perception. Basically, if you look at this microphone, it's normal sized, right? But to people with Alice in Wonderland syndrome, it's either really, really tiny or really, really big.
False.
True. Micropsia is a condition affecting human visual perception in which objects are perceived to be smaller than they actually are.
You picked one where it sounds so fake.
It can be caused by optical factors, such as distortion in the eye, like swelling in the cornea, or actual changes in the shape of the retina that disrupts the shape and size of things.
So you could have fisheye?
Yes, you could actually live your entire life with the fisheye filter on, and that's how you see. And that would be terrible. That would be terrible, wouldn't it? Horrifying.
That would. I mean, your face would be my face.
Yeah, I mean that would just be really weird. I'm trying to imagine living life looking at everything through a fisheye. That'd be so disconcerting, especially to us because
and we'd be like looking at you, and you'd be like, "Hi."
Yeah, that would be weird.
I would not like that.
All right, the next disorder disease thing is called rabbit anxiety or rictosolicitudo. Fancy Latin names, I know. And it is where the patient, whenever they get to a certain point of anxiety, they get so anxious that their foot and their leg just start shaking and jerking uncontrollably, and they can't stop it until the anxiety has gone down.
If this is gonna be false, I'm gonna go insane. But I think this is true.
It's false. I made that one up. Oh, That just means that I did a really, really good job, guys. It means I did a really good job at making this stuff up. No, that one is completely false. There is no such thing as oricto solicitudo.
Have you been keeping count of how many I've gotten wrong?
So far, you've gotten 1, 2, 3. You've gotten 2 wrong and 3 right, or 3 wrong and 2 right.
I think
something
it's
like
3
that.
wrong, 2
yeah,
right.
no. It's 3 wrong and 2 right.
All right. Well, if I get, I can only miss one more.
Yep. All right. Next up is porphyria, or vampire syndrome.
Okay, this one is true. This one is very true. This one is true.
Yeah.
This one is true.
It is true.
This one is true.
Porphyria is a disease where... Well, nope, that's the page for cold water seaweed. Wrong page, guys. I'm sorry. Let me... It is a group of diseases. Porphyria is in a group of diseases that... in which chemical substances called porphyrins accumulate, leading to either skin changes or neurological changes, or both. The vampire syndrome in specific is where it builds up and they become so sensitive to sunlight that they cannot go outside without blistering and burning just almost instantly. And they have to spend most of their lives in the dark, literally. I mean, they can have artificial lighting, but they can't go outside in the sun. They have to keep all the shades drawn all the time, and it's actually a really it's really scary, actually.
It's gotta really suck.
Yeah, because
there's another thing, like you can be allergic to water.
Yeah,
and
but I mean,
really
you're allergic to sunlight. That means you can't go outside and play with your friends. You can't play football. You can't go swimming in the summer, because unless it's an indoor pool. And so it's just it's really that one is one of the more serious ones that we've actually talked about. It's really, really sad.
Although there's a bright side, you can play video games with your friends.
Yeah,
lots of video games.
You could become the best gamer in the history of the world if you have cutaneous porphyria. Yeah,
funky names.
That's what it's called. Okay. Next one is methylhemoglobinoma. This one is a disorder, it's a disorder disease thing that the patient's blood has a higher than normal level of methylhemoglobin rather than the iron. The methylhemoglobin is a type of the iron, but instead of turning your blood red, it turns it blue. The methylhemoglobin has a decreased ability to bind oxygen to the blood, and so the oxygen just kind of stays in your bloodstream, doesn't actually really go anywhere, and it turns you blue.
This one's false.
This one's true.
This one is true because I am cringing on the inside and you can't see it.
Yep. There was actually a family. Let me go here. Let me see. Yeah, this was actually a family known as the Blue People that lived in the hills around Troublesome Creek in Kentucky until the 1960s. Their last name was Fugate, and most of them lived past 80. No serious side effects, no serious illnesses, just the blue skin. Now, if you have a higher level of these methylhemoglobinates in your body, it can lead to hypoxia, which is where your cells don't get enough oxygen in your body and you die, in horrible ways. But typically, if you have that, nothing actually bad happens. You just have blue skin. But that one is true.
Put some antennas on your head and you can be an Andorian.
Yeah, you can be an Andorian.
Boom.
That'd be the easiest costume ever. You just buy some straws and just stick them in your hair and you're done. Easiest costume ever.
If you're a Trekkie.
If you like Star Trek, which we do.
I just think nerds rule.
Alright. Last and final disease and disorder.
Wait, what? Does it mean I have rules?
No, you're gonna have to give me the lab coat. You can't be a doctor when you grow up.
Wait, so I've lost already?
Yeah, you've lost already. But this is the last one to see if you can get it right. If you can get this one, you might be able to redeem yourself. Still won't get to be a doctor, but you might be able to redeem yourself.
So cool.
Okay, this one is called Immortiacorum, or Undead Skin. Okay, now the skin, you know how humans age, right? Our bodies age, we grow older, they become weaker and all that, but there have only been 52 cases of this. Immorticorium, the skin does not age at the same rate as the rest of the body. So you could be in your 50s and look like you've still got 20-year-old skin.
I believe it.
You think that was true?
It better be.
No, it's false. I made that one up.
But there are ones where you can
no.
get older and...
No, this one is actually false. There are people that just happen to have better genes for their skin. You know, their skin doesn't wrinkle as quickly and doesn't grow as old as fast.
See, I should have caught on because you said they look younger rather than older. Now, if you had said they looked older rather than younger...
So, that one was false. I made that one up. There were four.
But it's so similar.
There were 4 false ones, and there were 6 true ones. You got the majority of these wrong. So, I think what we have learned today is we have learned that Gabe could never be a doctor.
I'm not going to be a doctor. However, I will be an actor. I will be an actor.
Be an actor.
Like a boss.
But, so that was the game for today. 10 diseases, true or false. Don't slurp in the microphone. Nobody wants to hear that.
But people do.
No, they don't.
They don't.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit the like button. You know, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, stick around, see what else we got coming out for you. And, as always,
we'll see you in the next video.
Bye-bye! So, seriously, you actually thought those were real? And you thought the ones that... Man, I did a good job. I told you I did legitimate research for this one.
Well, at least I got the goblin ache. That one was stupid easy.
That one was funny, though.
Da da da.
It was funny.